Hey y'all, it's Maddie from the Itty Bitty Homestead Committee. If you just watched me on the Ann Lynn show, you know that I have promised you a series called The Bunny Burrows. I promise that is coming. I am working on it, but this video is coming first because it is what is in my queue and what I've been working on. So please stay tuned, stick to it. I am going to be making for you Rick's parrot mash. So if you were on the Ann Lynn show, you saw Rick, my beautiful macaw, and I'm going to show you what I feed him on a daily basis and how I make it in bulk. So let's go do that. And, if you like it, go ahead and subscribe, comment, all that stuff I'm supposed to ask you to do, and we'll get into it. Hi y'all, it's VoiceOver Madison. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these black beans and I'm going to start cooking them up. Normally Danny does not allow me to cook beans in this house, but it is a little different because it's for the bird. Then I am going to take my harder vegetables, such as my root vegetables, get them chopped up and ready for Rick to eat. I just kind of rough chop them before I throw them into my pot for cooking. I'm going to go ahead and cut my sweet potatoes and my carrots because they're going to go into the pot at the same time. When you are giving your parrot root vegetables, it's important that you cook them down. I prefer to either boil them or to bake them to make sure they're soft. But while I'm doing that, I'm also checking in on my beans. Once you have your root vegetables nice and soft enough to where they kind of break up with a spoon, you are ready to pull them out. Next, I'm going to work on my squash. This time I have just a basic yellow squash and a zucchini. Rick doesn't like these raw, so I cook them up and I blendy them together so that he can't pick them out of his feed, because Rick is fickle and he will pick his feed apart just so he doesn't have to eat the stuff he doesn't like. So I promise not all of what I give him is a slurry of vegetable goop, but it is important for him to have some of this goop because otherwise he won't eat his vegetables, and vegetables are the most important thing you can give to your parrot. And that's just kind of like what my puree looks like. There are some larger chunks, but it does look like baby food right now, and not the good kind of baby food. Once I get those all cooked up, I am going to go ahead and cook up some rice. We try to use brown rice, and it's important to cook that as well. Once that's cooking, I'm going to take all the rest of my fruits and veggies. None of these are going to be cooked, but they are going to be chopped up into finer pieces. Rick really loves his apples and his bananas. It does really well to kind of cover up the veggie taste. And I kind of mix that all together, and it's a harder chop, so he has some different textures. But again, he can't just pick them out and eat the fruit if he wants. Once my rice is done, I am going to just throw it into the chop, and I'm just going to mix that all together into a conglomerate of goop. This is what it looks like when it's finished. The beans weren't done baking yet, but I am going to give this to Rick because he is hungry and begging for food. But once I get it all together and throw the beans in, make sure your beans are cooked, people. This is kind of what my mash looks like. Here's Rick ready for his mash, and it is just something that he loves and he will just gobble up. I do want to note that he also gets a fortified pellet to ensure that he has a balanced and nutritious diet. Now, I did make a lot of mash, and I am going to store that into little baggies. The top container is going to go into the fridge, and the baggies are going to go into the freezer. And this mash is going to last me about 2 to 3 months worth, and it's really great if you're just packing it down. It stacks in, and you can just unthaw it and give it to your parrot at any time. So that is how I make my parrot mash. And I just want to make it very clear, I am nowhere near a parrot expert. I have just done my research on what my bird can and can't eat and what he should get enough on. Make sure you do your research and talk to your avian vet. I do know, and I want to make it very clear, there are some things your bird cannot have, and that includes mushroom, avocado, onions, garlic, and those kind of things. You should also limit their fruit intake as well as their fat intake. So make sure you are doing your research before you feed your parrot. And also, on top of this delicious fresh chop they get, make sure you are giving them a fortified pellet so that they are getting all of their vitamins and nutrients, because parrots and macaws are very prone to things like fatty liver disease. And make sure, above all else, you see your avian vet on a regular basis to get your parrot tested for all of the blood tests that he or she needs to have so that they are happy and healthy birds. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all next time, and just have a wonderful night. Bye.